Hi everyone, this is the first video for the SWAT model development and initial run. In this video, I will demonstrate the step 1 in SWAT model development using QSWAT for creating streams and delineating watershed. In this tutorial, I will use one of Korean dam watersheds as an example study area, and the data required for this tutorial can be found in my GitHub repository shown on this screen. Also, I will give the web link for this site in this video's description. So if you go to this site, you can find this folder for SWAT model development and run. If you click this one, you can find the data required for this video tutorial. You can click and download with this button. And then you can easily download this zip file for that. So after downloaded and unzipped this data folder, you need to locate in your working directory. So if you double click this one, you can find many data included on here. So all these required data I will introduce step by step with my video tutorial, okay? Basically, in this video, you need to this DM and land use and soil data, as well as this outlet and stream shapefile. So I will start the SWAT modeling work with this QGIS platform. If you rightly installed the QSWAT 3 program, you can find this icon on this QGIS main platform with this QSWAT. So if you click this icon, you can open this main interface for the SWAT model development. This is QSWAT 3 main interface, okay? So firstly, I will use this button for new project to set the project work for the SWAT development, okay? So if you click this one, you can open this new window to save the project. So please locate your working directory for this project file. So I will name with this project with YDDAM. So I will use one of the example Korean dam watershed, Yongdam Dam, for this video tutorial. So I will use the name of this project with YD Dam. Okay. So after that, you need to save. And then you can find these changed features in this main interface with main steps. So you can find the first step button would be Delineate Watershed. So you need to click this one. And then you can open this new platform for Delineate Watershed. Okay. After that, if you check the working directory, meanwhile, these two things, one, the project folder, as well as this project file is just created, okay? So with that, I will select firstly the DM with this button. So if you click this working directory, and then you need to select data folder with DM. I already prepared for that, so if you double click this one, then you can find this DM file is just added. So you can find another message on this QGIS main platform. So you can read this one. After that, just check this burning existing stream network. And then you can also select another data with this button. So in that case, I will select this stream folder with the stream shapefile. So after that, you will also see this stream shapefile is just added. If you go to this main QGIS platform, so you can see these two data for the stream and this DEM data with hill shade. This is just automatically loaded on this QGIS platform with this platform for the Delineate Watershed, okay? So after that, I will define this threshold for this delineate watershed. So I will type with this 27.891 square kilometers with define for the watershed. So you can see this is automatically calculated with number of cells for that, okay? So I will not give the detail, the theories for delineating watershed, but I just provide the functional thing with this SWAT, the main platform, okay? So after that, press this create stream button. And then you need to wait some time to create all the streams required for this with this threshold areas, okay? So the required time to finish this creating the streams would be different with the computer performance. So finally you can have this stream shapefile again. So you can see more clearly with this created streams on here. So uncheck this burning streams and then open the platform. So I just succeeded with this create streams. So after that I will open another data set for this QGIS. So click this icon, open data source manager, and then you need to open this browse button to load this data folder and outlets folder with this shapefile for the outlets. So click to add. And then you can see this loaded outlets as well as other gauge points. So I will use these points for delineating the watershed with the sub-agents as well. So go back to main platform. So in this point, I will use this button draw inlet outlets. So if you click this one, then you can see this new window for instructions for this function. So after that, you need to select this QGIS main platform. After that, browse on this outlet points. After that, you need to select very near point for that. Okay? So I will select this point as an outlet. So again, another point, another 5 point I will also select. So please follow with this video. So another gauge point I will select for that. So in this case, I will select on here as another gauge point, and the other one would be, if you zoom in this point, you can see, yeah, this another selection. So let's go another selection for this one, this gauge point with this point. So you need to follow my video with the right locations with this gauge point, because depending on this selection you can have the different shape watershed. So I will use this point for this gauge network point. So far I selected 4 gauges as well as this outlet point, and then lastly I will select this one in this point with this point. So I selected all the 6 points. So you can see this outlet as well as these 5 different sub-watershed gauge point for the flows. So at this point, if you go back to this window and then click OK. After that, if you click this button, select Inlet Outlet button, Then you can find another instructions for selecting these created outlets. So if you go back to and just drag with this one, and then you can see this changed colors for all the selected points. Okay, after that you need to go back to this message and then press this save button. After that, you can see these 6 points are selected, okay? So at this point, if you will see this layers window, you can see newly added the inlet outlet shapefile, okay? So I will use this button to create watershed. So press this one. So you need to wait some minutes for completing this job. Again, depending on your computer performance, it will be different. Okay? So after finishing this job, you will see this newly created watershed. So if you will right click and zoom to layer, you can clearly see this delineated watershed. So if you uncheck this hillshade, as well as this DM, so you can also clearly this one. Okay, so with this selected all the point to delineate this watershed. So I will check this hillshade and DM again, and also I don't need this outlet points at this time, so I will remove this layer. Okay, and then go back to this main platform to delineate watershed. After that, if you select the Beijing button, if you click, and then you can find this new message box. If you check this select small Beijings with different criteria, you can find just leave as a default and just plus select. And then this selection give very small watershed areas you can find on here. So also you can find on here. So this should be merged with the another watershed. So at this point you can see two sub watershed just created are selected. So at this point, I will just select on here and press this small sub watershed. After that, if you go back to this message box again, and then you will see these selected two watershed are just represented on here. So at this point, just save. And then you can merge these two selected watersheds. So please press this merge button. And then you can find this message. So click OK. So these two sub-watersheds are just merged. Also, I will select another one. So the same way, if you select this one, just one would be selected. That would be this small one. Okay, so I will select another big sub-watershed like this one. And then if you go back to this message, you can find these two selected. Okay, two sub-agents are selected. So press save button, and then again you need to click this merge button. So now you have the message, click OK, and then so previous two watersheds are merged as one, like this one. Okay, so go back to on here. So you need to clear this selection with this button, and then zoom to layer to see all the sub-agents on here. After that, I will click OK on here. If you need to the other selections, add reservoir and point source. In this video, I will not use this kind of things, so I will stop all the watershed creation with this OK button. Before that, I will check this watershed attribute table with this button. So, and then you will see all the associated ID, polygon ID things. So, all the created sub-basin, the ID also will be on here, okay? So go back to this main platform and then press OK. So now I have just finished all the required processes for the SWAT model development. Step 1 for the delineation of the watershed, like this one with the stream network. If you will uncheck this hillshade as well as this DM, so you can clearly see all the numbers associated on this delineated subwatershed. Okay, so go back to check this hillshade and DM. Also, if you will see this main interface for QSWAT3, you can see this first step have been done for this delineated watershed, and this step 2 is just activated. Okay? So at this point, go back to main QGIS platform and save this project, and then you can find this message box. So please click OK and go back to this main platform. Okay. In this video, I have made demonstrations for the step 1 in SWAT model development using QSWAT for creating streams and delineating watershed. And I will continue the step 2 work for the SWAT model development in the following video. Thank you for watching.